This is Catholic Just War Doctrine in under 3 minutes, no notes. Catholic Just War Doctrine ultimately finds its foundation in the fifth commandment, thou shalt not kill. This is elaborated on by Saints Thomas Aquinas and Augustine, the standard guys, and is found in the Catechism of the Catholic Church, paragraph 2309. And it lays out 5 conditions. The first condition is it has to be a defensive war. That's mostly self-explanatory. Sometimes we say self-defense, it can be in defense of another, but the ultimate aim has to be one of defense. Second point, there has to be an aggressor. You have to be fighting against an aggressor. You can't invade a neutral third party to stop your enemy from doing it. We can't take over Canada to stop Russia from doing it first. They're not the aggressor. You gotta leave them out. Third condition is it has to be the last resort. You turn to war when everything else has failed. I think Isaac Asimov says it best, says when you turn to violence, you're already admitting failure. It's like flipping the chessboard because you lost the game. War is the last resort when everything else has failed. The fourth condition, it has to be proportional. That is, you can't do more harm, more damage, more evil in waging a war than you're seeking to prevent. When you go into the war, you have to ask, can we reduce the amount of evil being done here by fighting this war? And if the answer is no, then it's not a just war. You're just making things worse. The fifth condition is probably the hardest. For me, I feel like this is the hardest. There has to be a reasonable chance of success. That when you go into a war, just because someone's attacking you, knowing full well you're going to lose, that's not just war, because it's not proportional. At the end of the day, you're not stopping any evil, any harm from being done. You're just adding to it. If it's going to happen in the end anyway, doing more now doesn't help the situation. Right? That's not justice. Which isn't to say anything about any conflict going on right now, but that when people in charge, when the people who are responsible for making these decisions are making these decisions, the Catholic Church calls upon them to ask very seriously, can we win? Can we reduce the evil? Can we make this better? By turning to the sword, to bombs, to guns, to killing, to bloodshed. And most of the time, the answer is no. Most of the time, the Catholic Church comes down on saying, no, this war doesn't meet these conditions. And since, no war ultimately does, because at least the aggressor is not fighting a just war,